today I'm diving into a VR game that's as bold as it is niche, Civilization 7, fully built for VR and out tomorrow on Meta Quest 3. So let's be clear, this isn't a casual VR experience. This is Civilization we're talking about, and it actually was built from the ground up with new features for virtual and mixed reality. The table is floating in your room, world leaders show up to argue with you face to face, and while all this sounds amazing on paper, here's one thing: none of that matters if you don't understand what you're doing. One of the hardest VR games you will ever play. It's overwhelming at first, but once it clicks, it's genuinely rewarding. So I'm going to break down what this game does, where it struggles, and most importantly, is it worth $60? So let's start with the good stuff. Civilization 7 VR puts you in front of a massive 3D war table that feels like a living board game. Could be in VR, could be even in mixed reality, which is cool. You can zoom in to see little buildings go up, zoom out to view your empire across the continent. It feels like you're inside a living strategy board game. Leaders from other civilizations literally appear around you in VR, making alliances, demanding tribute, or just being annoying in full immersive detail. This part works. It's immersive, it's dramatic, it feels like something you could only do in VR, and it makes all your decisions feel a lot more personal. So here comes the tutorial, and listen, I say this with love. If you skip this tutorial, you will suffer. The devs knew the game was complicated, and to their credit, they gave you a full tutorial that is long, layered, and dense. And honestly, it kinda has to be. You don't just learn how to play Civilization, you need to learn how to play it in VR, using a new interface, new systems, and a completely new way of interacting with the game world. And as you go through the tutorial, the game will assign you advisors, give you step-by-step tooltips and on-screen cues that guide you through your first turns. You'll get help on how to move units, build cities, research technologies, and engage in diplomacy. But even though the game helps you out by giving out menus that highlight what to do and locking out features until you're ready, you still have to read everything, and I mean everything. But alright, I actually skipped the fun part. You will start by choosing a leader and an ancient civilization. What makes Civilization 7 different from past games is how it handles civilization in history. You pick a leader to represent you throughout the game, but your civilization changes each time you move into a new historical age: antiquity, exploration, and modern ages. Each age gives you a new civilizations to choose from, each with different buildings, bonuses, and abilities, none of which will make sense to you at the beginning, but your leader stays the same throughout the game. But your civilization changes. There's a sense of building a legacy over time, which I found really satisfying. And the transitions between ages feel epic. Your museum updates, your war table changes, you unlock new texts and policies. It's not just a number going up, you actually feel like history is evolving around you. So once you've selected your leader and civilization, your first task will be to found a city. The interface is split between your two hands. Your non-dominant hand, or your left hand in most cases, will hold the gauntlet with some menu options. You will use your dominant hand to interact with the war table. You tap the center of the gauntlet to proceed with your turn and perform different actions. If you click on surrounding slices, they will open up menus for production, tech trees, policies, civics, city management. There's a lot there. But the challenge isn't just finding the menu, but understanding what it's trying to tell you. And the game doesn't always explain everything very clearly right away. You can also open windows to appear much larger, but then sometimes they spawn so far away that some additional windows become impossible to read. There are still definitely some UI bugs that need to be ironed out. Like at one point I got two options to choose from: close or close. Tough choice. Then comes your first real production decision. Do you hire a scout or a warrior? The tutorial explains that scouts move faster and help explore the map, while warriors are better for early defense. Choose one and the game shows you how to manage the city's production queue. There's a lot that the tutorial will teach you. I was about 45 minutes in before I felt like I had any control over what I was doing. And that's coming from someone who has played Civilization before. If you're new to the series, you might feel a bit lost, and honestly, that's okay. This game was never meant to feel easy right away. Also, leader interactions are wild. They don't just send you messages, they show up around the war table looking at you, gesturing, reacting to your decisions. When someone breaks a peace treaty, it actually feels personal. That part of VR adaptation really works. Now let's talk visuals. Yeah, it's not great. The art style is fine, but textures are basic and they lower in quality fast when you move your head away. You can see that the game is constantly downscaling to keep performance stable, which led me to see this guy's bald head underneath this triangle that's supposed to be hair. Yikes. If you're expecting high-end detail or lush environments, this game isn't going to blow you away. It would look better as a PC VR title, so keep your expectations leveled for Quest 3. While I think that many Civilization players may forgive the graphics for the strategic depth, it's still a really expensive game, and I expected better for the visuals for $60. Once you get past the tutorial and actually start playing, the core Civilization gameplay loop kicks in, and it's still fantastic. You build cities, manage resources, fight enemies, explore, negotiate peace treaties, and chase different types of victory. Culture, science, military, economics, it's all there. But everything takes more effort than it would on just flat PC. Zooming, selecting tiles, assigning units, it's all a little slower in VR. Which means the game feels heavier to play, like it takes a little bit more effort, but maybe that's the point? This is a hardcore strategy game for people who love thinking 10 moves ahead, and I really hope that there's enough of us in VR to support it. We all remember when the two city-building games came out, Cities VR and Little Cities, one of them being basically a full-blown simulation, and another one is like a simplified, easy-to-play, almost a mobile version of SimCity, and one of them became considerably more successful than the other one. Can you guess which one? I know that most Quest players are busy with games like I Am Cat and Gorilla Tag, but honestly, that's why we need more games like this. I only hope that there is enough audience for this kind of game on Quest 3, because Civilization 7 VR proves that VR isn't just about quick actions and chaos. It can be thoughtful, it can be challenging, and yeah, sometimes it can be overwhelming, but in a good way. I'm excited to see more AAA titles like this one to be coming to VR. And if you're willing to commit the time and give your brain a workout, then Civilization 7 can offer you one of the deepest and most rewarding VR experiences that I have played this year. Still, a $60 price tag feels a bit out of this world for a VR game. We are not used to this price point. Even Batman, an incredibly polished and successful title, cost $50, and it's considered high-end. Another game that cost $60 was Asgard's Wrath 2, and Meta gave it away for free to so many new Quest users. Same with Batman, by the way, but Civilization 7? Yeesh. Nope, I don't think that this price tag is realistic. And if you want something kinda strategic but less overwhelming, then check out my Triangle Strategy VR review if you're into Final Fantasy-like old-school turn-based strategy combat. And yes, it was made by that same company, Square Enix, the one that made Final Fantasy series. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you there.